on Sunday, April 11th, I was in Columbus, Ohio to check out some Notre Dame targets, such as the guy on the screen here, Ohio State cornerback pledge Jair Brown, who the Fighting Irish are hoping to sway away from the Buckeyes. In this video, we're going to talk all about Notre Dame's targets and what I thought about them at the event. But before we dive into it, make sure you hit the thumbs up button on this video and subscribe to our channel for more content. And as always, go to blueandgold.com for all of your Notre Dame coverage. And the gold standard that I posted early on Monday afternoon, I dove into the recruiting notes on all of these guys. But here we're going to talk about them as players and kind of share my thoughts there. Let's go first to an offensive lineman and one of Notre Dame's biggest offensive targets really on the board. Not even just on the offensive line, but I mean, this is someone who Notre Dame offered really early in the 2022 cycle. Carson Hinzman was one of Notre Dame's first two offensive line offers in this 2022 class. Fellow Wisconsin native Joe Brunner and Hinzman were offered on the same day during a campus visit back in November of 2019. This was my first time seeing Hinzman, and my first initial takeaway was, man, like, he is lean. That 6'5", 280-pound frame. He's coming off a basketball season, so certainly he's not going to be carrying any bad weight, playing basketball. And so lean, but also very strong. Thought he looked good going through drills. And then in the one-on-one portion, these offensive linemen only got 2 reps total. So that's the one thing I don't love about these Under Armour camps, is that there's very limited one-on-one. So not a ton of competition, but he won a rep. And he also lost a rep going up against the same young man. Got beat off the ball once, and then the second rep, Hinzman got the best of him. And as far as this recruiting goes, again, go to the gold standard at blueandgold.com. I'll leave the link to that in the description of this video. But feel like Notre Dame and Wisconsin are a couple of the schools really battling for Hinzman. Last week, Ohio State cornerback commit Jair Brown tweeted out that his father had passed away. Please keep his family in your thoughts and prayers following his father's tragic and unexpected passing. Brown did participate in the camp, though, and in my first initial thought with him was just how really ripped he is. I mean, a really good sized cornerback, 6 foot, 185 pounds. Clearly, he's been in the weight room. Broad shoulders, ripped biceps, and he looked really good running around. Thought he did just fine in the one-on-ones, didn't get a ton of action there. But, in just seeing him going through drills, Jair Brown is a big-time prospect, one that Ohio State really wants to keep in their class, and they're fending off Notre Dame for this young man. Let's move into talking about some 2023 targets for Notre Dame. There's a couple other 2022 guys that I'll talk about, but are a little less notable at this time. So let's talk about some of the key 2023s. Dante Moore from Detroit, Martin Luther King High School, number 30 overall player in the 2023 class, one of 2 quarterback offers for the Irish early in this cycle for the rising juniors, and he was impressive. Good size, he's on the leaner side right now, but again, he's also a sophomore in high school. Really clean release, fluid throwing motion, looked great in drills. Looked pretty darn good as well in the one-on-ones, connected on some nice deep passes. Don't have all the videos of that. As it was raining conditions, it was tough to get film of everything. But thought Dante Moore looked really good. Nothing screamed to me like 5-star guy right now. But that top 30 ranking in the country certainly looks accurate right now. Is he a 5-star guy? Down the line, can certainly see that. Dante Moore has the tools. One thing I was hoping to see that you just don't see in these camp settings is quarterbacks on the move. Like, what kind of throws? How does he look on the move? Looking forward to seeing more of Dante Moore and where Notre Dame fits into his recruitment. A young man I was really excited to see and did not disappoint was Sonny Styles, the younger brother of Notre Dame freshman receiver Lorenzo Styles. And Sonny looked really good. Before the camp, when I saw him on the roster, I texted him saying, hey, what position are you going to be working out as? Because Notre Dame's recruiting Sonny as a rover. He's getting safety looks. Heck, he could end up growing into a defensive end, Viper kind of role. So Sonny was working out with the DB. So that meant him going up against in the one-on-one slot receivers. And, he got beat a couple times. I mean, he's a big dude, covering little slot receivers at that in one-on-one coverage. That's no easy ask for him. But just the upside on this young man is enormous. Kind of has an Isaiah Simmons, former Clemson player, now in the NFL, I believe with the Cardinals. Just that versatility, the rover role, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah type player. Styles was impressive, and seeing him move like a defensive back with the size of a linebacker was impressive. Definitely keep an eye on Alex Sonny Styles. Brendan Vernon is the number 9 player in the country, which is not a 5-star prospect yet per Rivals, but he's obviously close. When Rivals is putting out these initial rankings for a class, they're very conservative with giving a player a 5-star 6.1 rating. So Vernon's number 9 player in the country, right on the cusp of 5-star status. And on Sunday, I thought he looked really good going through drills. His size complements his movement really well. Like, this young man moves like someone shouldn't, for being around 6'5", 250, 260 pounds. Great movement. In the one-on-ones, he didn't dominate. He had a loss, and then he had a couple stalemates. So didn't ball out there, but going through drills, seeing him run around, Brendan Vernon sticks out and is certainly a baller. Ohio State and Notre Dame seem to be the 2 schools battling the most for Brendan Vernon right now. Kaden Proctor, a 2023 offensive tackle, is another one of those guys. Very high national ranking, number 6 player in the country, not a 5-star prospect yet. A big Notre Dame target. Had a recent call with offensive line coach Jeff Quinn that Proctor talked about after the camp. He did not go through one-on-ones, at least that I saw, but just talking to him, the size, whoa. Like, this kid as a sophomore looks every bit of 6'7", 300 pounds. Big young man, looks very strong, and one that Notre Dame is in hot pursuit of. And the last 2023 prospect to talk about here is Joshua Padilla, 6'4", 265-pound offensive lineman from Huber Heights, Wayne High School, of course, where Marcus Freeman and Mike Mickens, pair of Notre Dame coaches on the defensive side of the ball, went to high school. Joshua was a little bit shorter than I expected. But he won the big man challenge at this Under Armour camp and won his reps. He was playing center and won. I mean, he looked really good in those one-on-ones, and certainly looks like a prospect who is deserving of his early offers, including Notre Dame. That's going to do it for this video. Appreciate you guys sticking around to the end here. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to our channel for more content, and go to blueandgold.com for all of your Notre Dame coverage.